Coming up on BVTV News, someone's got more than dirt on their hands. A vandalism scandal in a BVU residence hall that's got the whole campus talking. A lost tradition comes back to life. How BVU Theatre entertained area youth with their production of Magic Theater. Finally, basketball season has tipped off. Sports anchor Tanner Frost is in studio with the latest in Beaver sports. From BVTV Studios on the campus of Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, this is BVTV News. Glad you're with us for another edition of BVTV News. I'm Guy Tannenbaum. Our top story, vandalism in Pierce White. Repeated instances in both halls of toilets being jammed with rolls of toilet paper and feces and vomit and urine on restroom floors culminated in a mandatory meeting for all Pierce White residents and administration to discuss the situation on Monday, November 11th.
This again has been going on for a couple months now, and it has been occurring on various floors in Pierce White, and we are trying to find out who is responsible and hold them accountable for their actions.
Actions taken by the university have included extra rounds for campus security and residence life personnel, additional housekeeping, and asking students for any relevant information.
Nobody really knows who would have done that, especially not on our floor. I mean, we had a floor meeting and we know everybody there, and we couldn't have seen anybody else doing it, so I think it is going to get a lot better though now.
BVU Vice President of Student Success Lucy Schaefer-Croft says there aren't any clear patterns in each of these cases.
And I would just say it's consistently inconsistent, and that it has been occurring in Pierce White on various floors. The focus has been on Third Pierce.
In a campus-wide email, the university said that the only community damage fees assessed to this point was a charge of $37.70 to Third Pierce residents only due to the concentrated vandalism in that area specifically. Cameras have now also been installed in hallways as preliminary surveillance.
Since they put a camera in, nothing's happened. No new events, not even toilet paper issues. So
Croft says she's disheartened by these events.
My whole take on this situation is that it's unfortunate, right? When you live in a residence hall, this is our home away from home from our students, for our students, and it needs to be safe and secure in a welcoming environment. That's what we want for our students.
Although no incidents have been reported this week, BVU is still telling students if they see something, say something. Those with information are encouraged to call campus security confidentially at 712-749-2500 or fill out a confidential and anonymous reporting form available online. Again, that number, 712-749-2500. Now it's time for stories from the TAC, BVU's online student newspaper. Connor Ellingson was announced as BVU's new Director of Admissions on November 4th. Most recently, Ellingson has served as the Associate Director of Admissions at St. Mary's University in Winona, Minnesota. As an intern for 2 years in college, Ellingson found his niche working in higher education and admissions. With 7 total years of experience as he arrives at BVU, he says that he plans to use social media more than the admissions office has in years past. To learn more about Ellingson, check out TAC co-editor-in-chief Alyssa Ertz's feature. Now, 2 stories about a couple of unique sports. Autumn McLean profiles the growth of women's wrestling at BVU and in the Storm Lake community. Jason Shepard, BVU computer science professor, along with experienced wrestling coach Troy Girder, are leading the way for female wrestlers in Storm Lake and surrounding areas by establishing a new all-female wrestling club. Next, Ella Wiebush profiles the Barnes sisters, Mary and Micah. The 2 sisters from the small town of Peterson, Iowa, are a part of, believe it or not, the BVU rodeo team. The team competes as a part of the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association, which is considered to be the NCAA of rodeo. For the full articles, visit bvtac.com. After the break, a story on the return of a BVU theater tradition. Stay with us.
This is Buddy Beaver. He's new at BVU and wants to get involved. Overwhelmed with options, Buddy flipped on the TV. Although fascinated by the TV, he fell asleep on his sofa. Suddenly, he found himself in a dream and at sea. He was enjoying the dream until something clouded his mind. What if he never found that perfect involvement opportunity? In the midst of his worries, he spotted something. BVTV. Buddy instantly awoke with a clear mind. He could produce TV at BV. BVTV, by Beavers, for Beavers. Boo, said Buddy as he finished telling his spooky story. He loves telling all kinds of stories to his friends. That's why Buddy enjoys BVTV. Storytelling is the heart of BVTV and any good program. So if you're searching for a program with a solid story, look no further. We've got 'em. BVTV, by Beavers, for Beavers.
Buena Vista Theater has brought back Magic Theater. Jaden Anderson has the story.
On October 22nd and 23rd, BVU students traveled to area elementary schools and performed their show, Magic Theater. Started by now former theater professor Dr. Michael Whitlatch, Magic Theater used to be a BVU tradition. It was a January interim class taught every 4 years, which died down after Whitlatch retired from BVU's Storm Lake campus.
And we decided to revive it because we thought it was really important to sort of bring that element of theater to kids at an early age, especially in an area where they don't really have easy access to it.
While Magic Theater's main goal was to entertain and interact with their audience, skits portrayed broad, important topics to the children as well. Magic Theater was an entirely student-led production, creating a memorable experience for all involved.
So we had 13 students. Most of them were freshmen and sophomores. Well over half were underclassmen. And then we had 3 directors, myself, Tara Smith, and Cole Hackbarth, who are all seniors. David and Bethany, who are the theater professors here, kind of took a little bit of a backseat for this production, actually. They didn't really, obviously they mentored us and helped us, but they really wanted to make sure that this was a student-driven project.
For BVTV News, I'm Jaden Anderson.
Thanks, Jaden. Well, believe it or not, Thanksgiving is already here. I can't believe it. But that means that winter sports are well underway. Tanner Frost is back, and it's so nice to have him back with the latest in Beaver sports. Tanner.
The men's and women's basketball teams have hit the court to officially start their respective seasons, and both are a few games in. The men's team has had a hot start to their year, already streaking to their first 5-0 start in over a decade and a half. The team was in action over the past weekend in the ARC SLIAC Challenge, where BV teamed up with their conference rivals, the Simpson Storm. On a big night in Siebens Fieldhouse, the Beavers shot lights out against the Westminster Martlets. Junior Brendan Gary got the offense going with a coast-to-coast highlight reel dunk early on in the game. A switch-up in play from Michael DeMars as he found DJ McNeil on a perimeter one-on-one, where a behind-the-back dribble to a nice spin move ended up in 2 points for the Beavers. McNeil and the squad continued to impress on the night, highlighting the team's passing ability after a fast break for another big score, and exciting the home fans in attendance. The Beavers finished off Westminster with a final score of 87-54. BV would come away with a perfect weekend as they downed Fontbonne 103-68 the following afternoon. The men also dominated Crown College in Siebens Fieldhouse Wednesday night 93-59, keeping their perfect record alive. Senior Tim Jeffries currently leads the team in points per game with an average of 19.6, while Storm Lake native and BV junior Michael DeMars has shown in the first 5 games as well. On the other side of the court, the BV women's basketball team currently sits at 1-2 under their new leadership and head coach David Wells. The ladies began the season up north in the St. Benedict tournament, taking on a pair of non-conference opponents. Unfortunately for BV, the weekend's luck would not bounce their way as they lost both matchups 73-82 to St. Olaf and 54-77 to the College of St. Benedict. However, the Beavers would answer back this past Tuesday night, coming back from a deficit to defeat Nebraska Christian College in overtime. Sophomore Aaron Strait hit a 3-point shot with 8 seconds to go to send the game into an extra period, while senior Destiny Einerwald currently leads the offense with 18 points per game. The Beaver wrestling team currently sits at 0-1 in dual matchups while already having competed in a pair of tournaments. BV traveled to Dubuque to take on the #1 team in the nation in all of D3 in the Loris Dewhawks. After a hard-fought night, the Beavers only came away with 1 win, a pin recorded by senior Colin Stilson at the 149-pound weight class. Stilson shone once again in the Dakota Wesleyan Open, taking home a 4th-place finish, while freshman Stephen White also earned his way to a 5th-place finish as well over the weekend. That's all for Beaver Athletics for this week. Back to you, Guy.
Thanks, Tanner. Appreciate it. Before we go, we want to take some time to congratulate one of our own. Senior digital media major Olivia Weisler has been named the 2019 Arthur H. Barlow Student Journalist of the Year by the Executive Board of the Society for Collegiate Journalists. Weisler is currently the senior editor of The Tack. She's been editor-in-chief before, senior events producer for BVTV, and a member of SCJ, among many other titles. What an incredible accomplishment, Tanner, and I can't be happier for Olivia. I think she really deserves it.
Absolutely, and we personally both know Olivia very well. We can personally attest to the fact that she is a fantastic worker. She's a great leader here in all Digi programs here at Buena Vista, and there's no one really more deserving of this honor than Olivia.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I think that wraps up this edition of BVTV News. We want to thank everyone for tuning in and tuning in all semester here on BVTV. For the entire crew, the entire staff, I'm Guy Tannenbaum. We'll see you next time.